Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's usually Monday, but this is a weird time in my world. So let me pause just a minute and let some of you jump on who are able to this morning. Let me get my computer synced up here. I hope you're having a beautiful week. Weather is crazy where I live. It's cold one day, hot the next day. Typical Texas. But I understand that many of you are having some insanely cold weather, so I'm not going to complain. Good morning, Lynn. How are you? Okay. Good morning, Nana Shirley. Y'all, Nana Shirley has agreed to be a guest with me here in a week or so. So we're going to figure out exactly how to make that work and make it work. Okay, I don't know why I can't see the video on my desktop. So, good morning, Kathleen. Y'all, Elaine is my friend. We did Weight Watchers leader training together. And so we met there, and she's just the cutest, most adorable, precious lady, and I am honored to have her now as my friend. So, okay, I don't know why it's not showing up on my desktop, but I'll go back today during the day. Good morning, Kathy, and respond to any comments. First of all, let me give you my weekly check-in. I promise I'm going to do this every week throughout this year. My weigh-in this past week involved New Year's weekend festivities and all of that, and it was my third week of being back on plan. And true to form, my body historically, I would have a loss for 2 weeks, and then the third week I would stay the same, which is exactly what happened this time. And I've told y'all before, good morning, Kathy and Brenda. If you track your weight, whether you're using the Weight Watchers app or a different app, there's one called Happy Scale, Happy Scale. Anyway, however you track your weight, more than likely, if you track it consistently, you will see a pattern. I know when I was leading Weight Watchers meetings, I noticed that people have a pattern, and I can't explain it. There's probably a scientific reason. I don't know what it is, but if you know what your pattern is, then you can kind of expect those weeks, and so they don't frustrate you or disrail you as much. But so here's what I want to share with you this week. This is probably going to be fairly short because I have a crazy busy day here at work. My office is getting ready to move on Saturday, so I'm doing all of the packing and on top of all of my normal stuff. So anyway, here's what I have for you this week. Are you ready? I saw a headline the other day, and we don't discuss politics here, and I'm not talking about this from a political standpoint. You do you. But I saw a headline the other day that talked about the Great Resignation. Apparently, on some particular day or some particular week, a massive number of people globally resigned from their jobs. And I didn't read the article because, to be honest with you, I'm kind of over or done or fed up to here with news, so I don't read very little of it, but it made me think. Just that headline made me think. This is about the time of year when a lot of us who started the first of the year with that, grit and resolve, and usually a couple of weeks, we're really good, and then we start sliding, giving up. Brenda says today was my weigh-in day, second week, down 0.2. That's fantastic. A loss is a loss is a loss. We start resigning. We start looking for excuses. I'm not even going to call them reasons for me. They're excuses. And we start, I had this conversation with a friend recently, the difference between grace and I can't think of the word I want to use. I think we cheapen grace. And hear me. I totally agree that we can become so obsessed with our weight that we expect perfection from ourselves or nothing at all. There's no room in the middle for those special occasions like I had with my daughter on Monday, or a meal that was, someone invited you to their home, and so it was completely out of your control. Those are the moments that grace comes in for me, in my opinion. What grace to me is not is giving me a get out of jail free card every time I don't have the discipline to do what I know I need to be doing. Grace isn't get out of jail free for me. You may look at it different. I'm just giving you my opinion. I wrote down some things I wanted to some quotes that I've been running across that I wanted to share with you. Maybe one of them will stick with you this week. The first one is, discipline is the bridge between a goal and an accomplishment. I can have a list of goals, and I have had a list of goals, but if I don't have the discipline to do the work, it's never going to become an accomplishment. When I lost the weight before, I was disciplined. I stuck with it. Did I have indulgences? Yes, but they were not accidents, and they were not frequent. And the discipline paid off. But when I stopped applying the discipline to my normal life, the weight started coming back on. So that's where I find myself now. I have to apply the discipline again. Motivation gets you going, but discipline gets you growing. I can be motivated all day long. I want to wear that outfit, or I don't want to see that number on the scale anymore. I'm motivated to do the work to get it changed, but am I disciplined enough to make it happen? Okay? If you're not, this one got me, y'all. If you're not willing to work for it, stop complaining about not having it. That hurt. If you're not willing to work for it and do the work and be disciplined, then stop complaining that you don't have it. That was me. I was doing an awful lot of complaining. My clothes don't fit anymore. I have all these cute outfits that I can't wear. The scale's going up. My jeans are too tight. But I wasn't doing the work. So if I'm not willing to work for it, I have to stop complaining about it. You can't reap the benefit from seeds you didn't plant. Same thing. This one really got me. I need to have this on a shirt or a tattoo. Maybe you do too. You can't be upset with results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. I'm going to say that one again because that one's really good. You can't be upset about results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Anybody? That one hit home. That one was a ow moment. Stop complaining if you're not willing to do the work. Okay, being negative, I've only got 2 more, y'all, but these are good. Being negative only makes the journey more difficult. We can whine, we complain, we can moan and groan. Those don't change what's required of us. Complaining. Have you ever been around somebody who's just negative all the time, and you're sympathetic, you're empathetic for a season, and then you find yourself wanting to be around them less and less? It's not that you don't care. It's that negativity is so contagious. It starts dragging everybody down. Being negative about the journey doesn't change the journey. It just makes us more mopey on the journey. So I'm going to be dedicated, but I'm not going to be negative about it. Will I have days where I'm frustrated? Absolutely. But being negative won't change that. Okay, here's the last one. I love this. You may be given a cactus, but you don't have to sit on it. You may be given a cactus, but you don't have to sit on it. I have cacti, and they're beautiful. But I know not to touch them. I know to admire the beauty. But if I keep touching it, poking it, it's going to hurt. So that's what negativity does to us. I'm going to encourage you this week to stop complaining, stop being negative, and do the work. Don't be part of the Great Resignation of 2022. You know, this time of year, like I said, Weight Watcher meetings will start losing people who started January 1 with, determination. Gyms will start losing people who came faithfully for a couple of weeks. New diets will start seeing more internet searches because people didn't lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, and so they're ready to move on to the next great thing. Don't do that. Don't be a part of the Great Resignation. Be resolved to stay the course and do the work. And when we do, the results will come. They won't come every week and they won't come every day, but they'll come. All right? I've got maybe 5 minutes. If anybody has questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. I told y'all the other day, and let me explain this because maybe my post wasn't real clear. I've started listening to a podcast. It's a Weight Watchers podcast, and I think it's called The Real. it's three ladies precious ladies, who met, I believe, at a Weight Watchers meeting, discovered they had so much in common, and so they have a podcast. And weekly, the three of them sit down together and share what I try to share with you. And I love listening. They're much younger than me, but I get something every week from listening to them. And it may be a different one of them each week. And so I thought, how fun would it be if maybe monthly or every couple of weeks on here, instead of you just listening to me, I would love for one of you to be on here with me, and I can add you to the live, just to share how you're handling the journey, your story, your favorite recipe, your suggestions, your struggles, because somebody will get something out of your journey. You don't have to be at goal. You don't have to be a huge success story. You may be just like me, doing it all over again. But somebody will relate to you. So some of you have suggested a few people, and I've talked to a couple of people who have agreed. And so as soon as I get past this move at the office, I'm going to make a list of everyone who's willing to sit and talk with me. And I'd love to have you. I'd love to hear your story. Maybe between the two of us, we can think of something that will help somebody. And so I'd love, if you are interested or willing, reach out to me, send me a private message. And again, it's not you bragging that you know everything. I mean, good Lord, I don't know everything, and I'd get on here every week. So I'd love to have you, Elaine. Anyway, I think that's about it. So I don't know of any announcements. Yeah, Kathy, it is. Discipline is true in every area of our life. We wouldn't be able to keep our job if we weren't disciplined enough to get up every day, go to work, and do what's expected of us. We wouldn't be able to keep our house if we weren't disciplined enough to make the mortgage payment or the rent payment every month. I don't like writing that check. I'd rather keep that money in the bank. But if I'm not disciplined enough to pay my bills, the repercussions are not pleasant. And so the same is true with our health. So my challenge for you this week is maybe write down a couple of 3 areas that you're not being as disciplined in as you need to be. What do you need to change to make that different this time next week? And would you be willing to join me on here for a few minutes one week and share your highs, your lows, what you've learned, what you're struggling with? Yeah, I'd love it. So I'm going to get to work, speaking of discipline, and I will catch you all on the board. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me.